There was a man once, standing in the middle of a storm, rain slashing across his face, the wind howling like a beast, trying to knock him off his feet. People watching thought, there's no way he'll make it. No way he'll withstand this. But he did. Not because he was stronger than the storm, not because he had some special gift. He made it because he decided he would. He didn't let the storm dictate his fate. He owned his power. And that's what I need you to understand right now. Your power is yours alone. Nobody, no circumstance, no failure, no betrayal can take that from you unless you hand it over. See, life is going to test you. It's going to push, pull, and try to break you. People will doubt you, situations will challenge you, and sometimes it'll feel like the whole damn world is against you. But here's the truth. Nothing, and I mean nothing, has the power to destroy you unless you give it permission. Look around. Think of the people who inspire you, the ones who've risen from nothing, who've faced more pain than you can imagine, who've been knocked down harder than most. Why are they standing today? Why are they thriving? It's not because life was easier on them. It's because they owned themselves. They refused to be victims of their circumstances. You have that same choice. Right now, the problem is most people don't even realize how much control they do have. They let their past define them. They let other people's opinions dictate their self-worth. They let rejection, heartbreak, and failure become chains around their ankles. But listen to me. Those chains, they're imaginary. The moment you decide to break free, the moment you choose to take back your power, they dissolve. You are not your past. You are not what someone else did to you. You are not the mistakes you've made. You are who you choose to become today. Maybe you've been through hell. Maybe people have lied to you, betrayed you, underestimated you. Maybe you failed so many times you've started to believe you're not good enough. But let me ask you something. Who told you that? Who decided that for you? And more importantly, why did you believe them? Because here's what's real. Every time someone tried to break you, they were testing your strength. Every time you fell, life was asking, will you rise? Every moment of doubt was a question. Do you know who you are? And I'm telling you right now, you are powerful. You are limitless. But only if you believe it. Only if you claim it. You see, most people don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they surrender their power without even realizing it. They let fear whisper in their ears and convince them to quit. They let other people's negativity seep into their minds like poison. But listen, fear is a liar. Doubt is a thief. And the moment you choose to reject them, you step into your true strength. No one, no boss, no critic, no enemy, no hardship gets to decide what you are capable of. You do. So stop waiting for permission to be great. Stop looking for approval to rise. Own yourself. Own your voice. Own your destiny. Because the moment you do, you become unstoppable. Imagine this. You're walking down the street, minding your own business, when suddenly someone shouts an insult at you from across the road. Maybe they call you a failure. Maybe they mock your dreams. Maybe they hit you right where it hurts. Now, at that moment, you have a choice. Do you let their words sink in? Do you let them shake you? Do you give them the power to control how you feel? Or do you smile, keep walking, and refuse to let them inside your head? That choice, that tiny moment, is everything. Because life isn't about what happens to you. It's about how you respond. See, most people don't realize this, but the real battle is never on the outside. It's not in your job, your relationships, your failures, or your struggles. The real battle is in your mind. And if you don't control your reactions, life will control you. People will control you. Circumstances will dictate your emotions, and you'll find yourself tossed around like a leaf in the wind, powerless and frustrated. But that's not who you are. That's not who you're meant to be. Think about the strongest, most unshakable people in the world. The ones who walk through fire and don't flinch. The ones who get hit and keep moving. The ones who rise no matter what's thrown at them. What do they all have in common? It's not that life is easier for them. It's not that they don't feel pain. It's that they choose how they respond to everything. They refuse to be puppets of circumstance. Let's be real. Life is going to test you. People are going to disappoint you. Things won't always go as planned. But the second you realize that nothing has the power to control your emotions unless you let it, you become free. Maybe someone betrayed you. Maybe you lost everything. Maybe life punched you so hard that you don't even know how to stand back up. But here's what I need you to understand. You are not at the mercy of those events. Yes, they happened. Yes, they hurt. But how you react is what shapes your future. How you react is what determines if you stay broken or if you rise stronger. The problem is, most people don't think they have a choice. They think that anger, fear, and frustration are automatic responses, that if something bad happens, they have to feel bad, that if someone disrespects them, they have to react with rage. But that's not true. That's just a habit. That's conditioning. And the second you break that illusion, the second you decide, I will not be controlled by anything outside of me, you take your power back. Look, no one can make you feel small unless you allow them to. No failure can define you unless you let it. No setback can stop you unless you choose to stay down. So the question is, what do you choose? Are you going to be the person who crumbles every time something goes wrong? Or are you going to be the person who stands tall, unshaken, because you know you control your reactions? Because here's the truth. Life will not stop throwing challenges at you. People will not stop testing you. The world is not going to suddenly become fair just because you wish it would. So if you want to be unstoppable, if you want to rise no matter what, you have to make the decision right now that nothing outside of you will dictate who you are inside. Once you master that, once you control your reactions, you control your life. There's a moment in life when you get hit so hard it takes your breath away. A moment when everything you've built, everything you've fought for feels like it's slipping through your fingers. And in that moment, pain shows up like an old enemy, whispering in your ear, this is it. You can't take any more. Just give up. But listen to me. Pain is a liar. It will try to convince you that it's permanent, that it's stronger than you, but it's not, because pain is temporary. Your strength, that lasts forever. Think about the hardest thing you've ever been through, the moment you thought you wouldn't survive. Maybe it was heartbreak, maybe it was failure, maybe it was standing in front of a shattered dream, wondering how you'd ever move forward. But guess what? You did. You're still here. You survived the thing you thought would break you. And if you survived that, you can survive anything. The problem is, most people don't see pain for what it really is. They think pain is the enemy. They think it's there to stop them. But pain isn't there to break you, it's there to build you. Every time you push through, every time you refuse to quit, every time you take one more step, when your body and mind are screaming for you to stop, you get stronger. Look at the greatest champions in the world, the strongest minds, the most unshakable spirits. They didn't get there because life was easy. They got there because they embraced the struggle. They understood that pain wasn't the end of their story. It was the beginning of their transformation. What are you going to do when pain shows up? Are you going to let it define you, or are you going to let it refine you? Because the truth is, pain is a test, and every time you refuse to back down, every time you stand tall in the face of adversity, you prove something, not to the world, but to yourself. This isn't just about surviving, this is about rising, about using every ounce of pain, every setback, every hardship as fuel to become stronger than you've ever been. Because the storm will come. The struggle is inevitable. But if you refuse to let it break you, if you refuse to let it make you small, then there's nothing, not one damn thing that can stop you. Pain is temporary, but the strength you build from overcoming it, that lasts forever. There comes a time when life hits you so hard you wonder if you'll ever recover. A moment when everything feels stacked against you, when it seems like no matter how hard you try, the world keeps pushing you down. You feel like you're drowning, like every step forward is met with resistance, and you start to question if you even have the strength to keep going. But listen to me, the world can test you, but it can't break you, not unless you let it. Life doesn't care about fairness. It doesn't care how much you've been through, how tired you are, or how badly you want something. It will throw challenges at you, obstacles that seem impossible, losses that shake you to your core. But here's what you have to understand. The test isn't meant to destroy you, it's meant to reveal you. It's meant to show you who you really are. And the only thing that determines whether you rise or fall isn't the size of the storm, it's the strength of your spirit. Look at history. The people who have left the biggest impact on this world, the ones who have achieved the impossible, they all have one thing in common. They refused to stay down. They understood something most people don't. Struggle is the price of greatness. Every champion, every leader, every person who has ever stood at the top has faced moments where they could have given up, but they didn't because they knew that the world doesn't give you success, you take it. When life tests you, when it pushes you to the edge, when it feels like you have nothing left, that is the moment you decide who you are. Do you fold? Do you let the weight of the world crush you, or do you rise? Because if you refuse to break, if you refuse to quit, there is nothing that can stop you. You have to be relentless. You have to be unshakable. You have to stand tall when everything around you is trying to bring you to your knees. Because here's the truth. Most people surrender when things get hard. Most people let life dictate their limits, but not you. You are built for more. You are stronger than the storm. You don't just survive, you rise, you fight, you win. Life will test you, the world will challenge you, but the only way you lose is if you let it break you. And you won't, because the fire inside you is stronger than anything that stands in your way. There's a war going on right now, and most people don't even realize it. It's not happening in the streets, not on the battlefield, not in boardrooms or arenas. It's happening in your mind. Every single day, there's a battle between the part of you that wants to rise and the part of you that wants to surrender. Between the voice that says you're unstoppable and the one that whispers you're not good enough. And if you don't guard your mind like your life depends on it, because it does, then the world will step in and do it for you. People will try to plant doubt in your head. They'll tell you you're not capable, that your dreams are too big, that success isn't for people like you. They'll laugh at your ambitions, try to break your confidence. And if you let them in, if you give them space in your mind, their voices will become your own. And once you start doubting yourself, once you start questioning whether you have what it takes, you've already lost half the battle. Your mind is your fortress. It's the only place in the world that belongs entirely to you. And just like a fortress, you have to defend it. You have to be ruthless about what you allow inside. Because every belief, every thought, every word you accept as truth shapes your reality. If you fill your mind with doubt, you will live in doubt. If you fill it with excuses, you will live in limitation. But if you fill it with strength, with discipline, with certainty, then there is nothing that can break you. Think about the strongest people in the world, the ones who seem unshakable no matter what life throws at them. Do you think they never face fear, never experience doubt? Of course they do. The difference is they don't entertain it. They don't let those thoughts take root. They don't give power to negativity because they know that once you let those cracks form in your foundation, it's only a matter of time before the whole thing collapses. You have to make a decision right now. Are you going to let the world dictate what you believe about yourself, or are you going to take control? Because if you don't own your mind, someone else will. If you don't decide who you are, the world will decide for you. And I promise you it won't be in your favor. You have to train your mind like a warrior trains for battle. You have to wake up every single day and decide what kind of person you're going to be, because the world isn't going to hand you strength, confidence, or success. You have to claim it. You have to build it from the inside out. Your mind is your fortress. Guard it. Protect it. Because once you master that, once you take full control of your thoughts, there is not a force on this planet that can break you. There's a moment in life that separates the people who rise from the people who stay down. It's that moment right after you've been knocked flat on your back, after life has thrown everything at you, after the failure, the heartbreak, the disappointment. It's the moment when most people decide to stay down, to accept defeat, to believe that this is as far as they go. But then there are the few, the ones who take that moment, that rock bottom feeling, and use it to fuel their comeback. The ones who understand that setbacks aren't the end of the story, they're the beginning of something greater. Because here's the truth. Every single time life knocks you down, it's giving you a choice. You can sit there, wallow in your pain, let the weight of failure crush you, or you can stand back up, look life in the face and say, you hit me, but you didn't finish me. That choice is yours, and what you do next determines everything. Most people don't realize just how much power they have in those moments. They think failure is permanent. They think their past mistakes define them. They think because they fell once, they'll never rise again, but that's a lie. Failure is not final. Setbacks are not life sentences. The only time you truly lose is when you decide not to fight back. Look at the greatest champions, the most successful people in the world. Every single one of them has fallen. They've faced rejection, loss, humiliation. They've been told they weren't good enough, smart enough, strong enough. But they didn't let those setbacks define them. They didn't let failure be the end of their story. They turned every loss into fuel. They used every defeat as a lesson, and because they refused to stay down, they rose higher than anyone ever thought possible. That's the mindset you need to have. That's the decision you need to make, because life is going to test you. It's going to push you to the edge, make you question yourself, try to convince you that you don't have what it takes. But what matters is how you respond. Will you let the setback break you, or will you use it to come back even stronger? The most powerful thing you can do in life is take control of your own story, to refuse to let failure define you, to refuse to let one bad chapter make you close the book. Every time you get knocked down, you have another opportunity to rise, another opportunity to prove to yourself, not anyone else, that you are stronger than whatever tried to stop you. The next time you face a setback, the next time life tries to tell you that you're finished, you look it right in the eye and say, watch me come back from this. Because when you turn your setbacks into comebacks, nothing can stop you. There's a moment when the world doubts you, when they look at you and say you'll never make it, when they laugh at your dreams, question your abilities, and bet against you. And in that moment, you have two choices. You can spend your time trying to prove them wrong with words, trying to defend yourself, trying to convince them that you have what it takes, or you can go silent. You can let your actions speak so loudly that one day they have no choice but to watch you succeed. Because here's the truth. Nobody cares about what you say you're going to do. The world isn't moved by promises, by declarations, by talking about your dreams. The world is moved by results. And the only way to silence the doubters, the critics, the ones who never believed in you, is to show up day after day and do the work, to stop explaining yourself and start executing. Most people waste their energy trying to convince others to believe in them. They get caught up in proving their worth, in defending their vision, in fighting for approval. But that's a trap, because the second you start needing validation from others, you've already lost. You've handed them your power. You've given them control over your confidence, over your belief in yourself. But when you stop seeking approval, when you stop talking and start building, that's when everything changes. The ones who truly succeed in this world, the ones who rise above the noise, they don't waste time arguing with doubters. They don't let criticism shake them. They don't explain their dreams to people who are too small to understand them. They get to work, they focus, they grind. And one day, the same people who doubted them are forced to sit back and watch as they succeed. Think about the legends, the game changers, the people who went from being underestimated to being undeniable. They didn't waste time trying to prove themselves to people who didn't believe in them. They used that doubt as fuel. They let the criticism push them harder. They understood that the best revenge is not words, it's success. If they doubt you, let them. If they laugh, let them. If they say you can't do it, let them. But while they're talking, while they're doubting, while they're waiting for you to fail, you work. You stay focused. You put in the hours. And when the time comes, when you rise, when you win, you won't have to say a single word, because success speaks for itself. There's something dangerous about the things you tolerate, the things you let slide, the way people treat you, the standards you accept, the excuses you allow yourself to believe, because what you allow is what will continue. Every single time you let something go unchecked, every time you lower your standards, every time you stay silent when you should stand tall, you send a message, not just to the world, but to yourself. You tell yourself that this is okay, that this is what you deserve, that this is just the way things are. But listen to me. Nothing changes until you change. People will treat you exactly how you let them. Life will give you exactly what you tolerate. And if you keep allowing negativity, disrespect, mediocrity, it will keep showing up. Not because you deserve it, but because you accepted it. Most people don't even realize they're doing it. They let toxic people stay in their lives because it's easier than walking away. They let opportunities slip through their fingers because they're afraid to demand more. They let self-doubt run the show because challenging it feels too uncomfortable. And the worst part, the longer you tolerate something, the harder it becomes to break free. You have to wake up. You have to decide what you will and will not accept. You have to set the standard not just for how others treat you, but for how you treat yourself. The way you speak to yourself, the limits you put on yourself, the stories you tell yourself, they all shape your reality. You either hold yourself to a higher standard or you settle for whatever life throws at you. Look at the strongest, most successful people in the world. They didn't get there by tolerating less than they deserved. They didn't accept excuses from themselves or from others. They made a choice, a hard choice, to raise their standards, to demand more, to cut out anything and anyone that didn't align with their vision. And that's what you have to do. You have to draw the line. You have to stand up and say, this is not acceptable. This is not my story. I am not available for anything less than what I am capable of. And when you do that, when you truly commit to raising your standards, everything changes. The wrong people fade away, the right opportunities start appearing, your confidence rises, and suddenly life starts meeting you at the level you demanded. Because what you allow is what will continue, but the moment you refuse to settle, that's the moment your real life begins. There's one thing that separates those who rise from those who fade into the background. One thing that defines every champion, every leader, every person who refuses to be broken by life. It's not luck, it's not talent, it's not even hard work. It's belief, a deep, unshakable belief in who you are and what you are capable of. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. And if you let doubt creep in, if you let the world tell you who you are, you will never reach your full potential. Most people go through life waiting for permission, waiting for someone to validate them, to tell them they're good enough, strong enough, worthy enough. They chase approval, they seek validation, they measure themselves by what others think. And in doing that, they give away their power. They let the world dictate their worth. But listen to me, you don't need permission to be great. You don't need approval to chase your dreams. You don't need anyone to tell you you're capable. The only belief that matters is the one you have in yourself. Because belief isn't just a mindset, it's a weapon. It's what allows you to keep going when everything around you is telling you to stop. It's what makes you take risks when everyone else is playing it safe. It's what gives you the courage to step into your destiny even when the path is unclear. The people who change the world, the ones who defy the odds, they don't wait for belief to come from the outside. They create it from within. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when you question whether you're strong enough, smart enough, capable enough. There will be voices telling you to quit, to play small, to accept a life that doesn't set your soul on fire. And in those moments, you have a choice. You can let the doubt win. Let the fear take over. Let the world tell you who you are. Or you can stand up and say, I decide what I'm capable of. I decide how far I go. I decide what is possible for me. Because belief isn't something you wait for, it's something you build. Every time you show up when you don't feel like it, every time you push forward when it would be easier to quit, every time you choose to back yourself, even when no one else does. That's how you create an unstoppable mindset. That's how you become untouchable. Most people never reach their full potential, not because they're not capable, but because they never believed they were. But you are not most people. You are not here to play small, to shrink, to live a life that is anything less than extraordinary. You are here to break limits, to rewrite your story, to prove to yourself that there is nothing you cannot do. Because self-belief is the ultimate armor. When you have it, nothing can shake you. And when you don't, the world will decide your worth for you. So choose wisely. Choose belief. Choose yourself. You want to know the difference between the people who win and the people who don't? It's not that they never fall. It's not that they never fail, never struggle, never question whether they can keep going. It's that every single time they hit the ground, they rise. They don't stay down. They don't let failure define them. They don't let pain break them because they understand something most people don't. Falling is inevitable, but staying down is a choice. Life will hit you hard. It will test you in ways you never saw coming. It will shake your confidence, break your heart, knock the wind out of you. And in those moments, it's easy to think, maybe this is it. Maybe I'm not strong enough. Maybe I should just accept that this is where my story ends. But that thought, that moment of doubt, that's the enemy. That's the moment you either give in or rise up. And the people who win in life, they rise every single time. Most people quit too soon. They get knocked down and think that's a sign to stop. They take failure as proof that they're not meant for something greater. But what if I told you that every single fall, every setback, every failure is actually a test? A test to see how badly you want it. A test to see if you have what it takes to stand back up, to keep going when it hurts, to refuse to accept defeat. Because the truth is, life isn't keeping you down. You are. The moment you decide to get back up, to push through, to rise stronger than before, everything shifts. Look at the greatest warriors, the strongest leaders, the most successful people in the world. Every single one of them has fallen. They've lost, they've failed, they've been broken. But they refuse to let that be the end of their story. They turn their pain into power, their struggles into fuel, their setbacks into comebacks, and that's what you have to do. Because life isn't about never falling, it's about who you become every time you rise. It's about the strength you build, the resilience you forge, the unstoppable mindset you create. Every time you get up after a fall, you are proving to yourself that nothing can break you. Listen to me, you are still here. You are still breathing. That means your fight is not over. That means your story is still being written, and you, only you, get to decide how it ends. So stand up, step forward, move with power, and no matter what happens next, no matter who doubts you, no matter how many times life knocks you down, rise anyway, because nobody can destroy you unless you let them. Now go, show the world who you are.